Once upon a time, there was a small boy named Alex. Alex lived in a little village near a big, green forest. He loved to play outside, run in the fields, and climb trees. But something was missing in his life, and he didn't know what it was. One day, while Alex was walking in the forest, he saw an old man sitting under a big tree. The old man looked kind, but very tired. He was holding a small wooden box. Alex's heart felt warm when he saw him. He went closer and said, "Hello, sir. Are you okay?" The old man smiled and said, "I'm fine, young boy. But I have been waiting for someone special. Someone who is brave, kind, and curious. Can you help me?" Alex was surprised. "Me? How can I help you?" he asked. The old man opened the wooden box slowly. Inside, there was a golden key. The key was shiny, and it sparkled in the sunlight. "This is a magic key," the old man said. "It can open a special door. Behind that door, you will find what is missing in your life." Alex's eyes became big. "A magic key? A special door? Where is it?" he asked excitedly. The old man pointed deeper into the forest. "The door is hidden in the forest. But it is not easy to find. You must listen to your heart and trust yourself. Will you go?" Alex thought for a moment. He was a little scared, but he wanted to know what was missing in his life. He nodded and said, "Yes, I will go." "Good," the old man said. "But remember, do not give up. The journey may be hard, but you are stronger than you think." Alex took the key and walked into the forest. As Alex walked, the forest became darker and colder. He could hear strange sounds, and the trees looked bigger and scarier. But he kept walking. He thought about the old man's words, "Do not give up." After a while, Alex saw a small bird with a broken wing. The bird was crying softly. Alex felt sad for the bird. He sat down and said, "Don't worry, little bird. I will help you." He picked up the bird gently and made a soft bed with leaves. He stayed with the bird until it felt better. The bird looked at Alex with bright eyes and said, "Thank you, kind boy. You have a good heart. Remember, kindness will guide you." Alex smiled and said, "Thank you, little bird." The bird flew away, and Alex felt happy. He started to walk again, feeling stronger. But soon, Alex came to a big river. The water was fast, and there was no bridge. He sat down and thought, "How will I cross this river?" Just then, an old woman came to the river. She was carrying a heavy bag. She looked at Alex and said, "Can you help me, young boy? My bag is too heavy." Alex stood up and said, "Of course, I will help you." He carried the bag for her and walked with her along the river. The old woman smiled and said, "You are a kind boy. Because you helped me, I will help you." She waved her hand, and a small boat appeared. Alex was surprised. "A boat? Thank you so much," he said. The old woman said, "Remember, helping others will always help you." Alex crossed the river in the boat. He waved to the old woman and said, "Goodbye." Thank you. After the river, the forest became bright again. Alex felt warm and happy inside. He thought, kindness and helping others make the world beautiful. But then, Alex saw a strange door. It was big and golden, with beautiful designs on it. He held the key tightly and said, "This must be the special door." Alex put the key into the door. It opened slowly, and inside, he saw a bright, shining light. The light was warm and soft. Inside the light, Alex heard a voice. It said, "Alex, you found what was missing in your life. Do you know what it is?" Alex thought about the bird, the old woman, and the old man. He smiled and said, "Kindness, helping others, and listening to my heart. These things make life beautiful." The voice said, "Yes, Alex. You found the treasure in your heart. Always remember this." Alex walked out of the door, feeling happy and full of love. He ran back to the old man and said, "Thank you for the key. I found what was missing." The old man smiled and said, "You found it because you have a good heart. Now, share your kindness with others." This story teaches us something very special. When we are kind and help others, we feel happy and loved. The world becomes a better place. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to my channel. Your support helps me share more amazing stories and lessons. Now, here's a question for you. What makes you feel happy and loved? Comment your answer in English. Let's learn together. Alex left the old man and walked back to his village. The world around him seemed brighter now. The trees looked greener, the birds sang louder, and even the air felt fresher. It was as if the kindness he had shown in the forest had changed the way he saw everything. When Alex reached his home, his little sister Emma ran up to him. "Alex, where were you? I looked for you all day." Alex smiled and picked her up. "I went on a big adventure, Emma. I learned something very important." Emma's eyes grew wide. "What did you learn, Alex? Tell me." Alex sat down with her under their favorite tree. "I learned that kindness and helping others are the most important treasures in life. When you help someone, it makes your heart feel full and happy." Emma tilted her head and said, "But what if I don't know how to help someone?" Alex thought for a moment. Then he said, "Sometimes, helping is as simple as saying kind words, sharing your toys, or listening to someone who is sad. Even small things can make a big difference." Emma nodded. "Okay, I'll try to help people too." The next day, Alex and Emma decided to spread kindness in their village. They started by helping their neighbor, Mrs. Green, carry water from the well. "Thank you, children," she said, smiling. "You are very kind." Then they helped a young boy fix his broken kite. "Now it can fly again," the boy said, laughing. As the days passed, more people in the village started helping each other. The village became a happier place. People smiled more, shared more, and worked together. One evening, Alex and Emma sat under the tree again. The stars were twinkling above them. Emma looked up and said, "Alex, do you think the stars are watching us?" Alex laughed softly. "Maybe they are. Maybe they are happy because we are spreading kindness. Emma said, I think kindness is like a star. When you share it, it shines brighter. Alex looked at her and smiled. You're right, Emma. Every act of kindness is like lighting a little star. As the weeks went by, Alex noticed something strange. The golden key he had used to open the door in the forest was glowing faintly. He kept it in his pocket, but now it felt warm, as if it had its own little heartbeat. One night, Alex had a dream. He saw the old man from the forest. The old man said, Alex, the magic key still has a purpose. It will guide you to help someone who truly needs it. When Alex woke up, he held the key in his hand. It was glowing brighter now. I wonder who needs help, he thought. The next day, as Alex walked through the village, he saw a boy sitting alone by the river. The boy looked sad. Alex walked up to him and said, Hi, my name is Alex. Are you okay? The boy looked up and said, I'm Tim. I just moved here, but I don't have any friends. Alex smiled warmly. Well, Tim, you have a friend now. I'll show you around the village. Tim's face lit up with happiness. Really? Thank you. As Alex spent time with Tim, he realized something amazing. The golden key in his pocket stopped glowing. It became cool and quiet. Alex understood that by helping Tim, he had used the key's magic again. Weeks turned into months, and Alex's village became known as the kindest place in the land. People from other villages visited to see why everyone was so happy. They saw how Alex and his friends helped each other, shared stories, and spread kindness wherever they went. One day, Alex found a letter under his pillow. It had no name, but the handwriting was beautiful. The letter said, Dear Alex, your kindness has touched many hearts. You have shown the world that true treasure is not gold or jewels, but the love we share. Keep spreading kindness, and you will always be rich in heart. From someone who believes in you. Alex smiled as he read the letter. He felt proud, but also humble. He knew the journey was not over. There were still more people to help, more hearts to touch, and more lessons to learn. Dear listeners, doesn't this story make your heart feel full? Alex's story reminds us that we all have a magic key in our hearts. It is the key of kindness and love. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Your support helps me create more inspiring stories for you. Here's a question to help you improve your English. What is one kind thing you did recently? Write your answer in the comments below. Let's share kindness and learn together. One bright morning, as Alex was helping his mother in the garden, he noticed something unusual. The golden key, which had been quiet and still for weeks, began to glow faintly again. It was a soft, warm light, as if it were calling to him. What's happening now? Alex wondered. He took the key out of his pocket and stared at it. The light seemed to pulse gently, almost as if it was alive. His mother noticed and asked, Alex, is everything okay? Alex smiled at her and said, Yes, Mom. I think I have another adventure waiting for me. He didn't know where the key would lead him, but he felt a strong pull in his heart. It was as if the key was guiding him again. That afternoon, Alex decided to follow the feeling. The key grew brighter as he walked through the village and into the forest. He passed the big tree where he had first met the old man. He thought about how much he had learned since then. The deeper he went into the forest, the quieter it became. The birds stopped singing, and even the wind seemed to hold its breath. Alex kept walking until he reached a small clearing. In the middle of the clearing stood a young girl. She was sitting on a rock, crying softly. Alex's heart ached when he saw her tears. He walked up slowly and said, "Hello. My name is Alex. Are you okay?" The girl looked up, startled. Her face was pale, and her eyes were red from crying. I'm lost," she said. "I don't know how to go home." Alex sat down beside her. "It's okay," he said gently. "I'll help you. Do you remember where your home is?" The girl shook her head. "No. I've been in the forest for so long. I'm scared." Alex thought for a moment. Then he smiled and said, "Don't worry. We'll find your home together. You're not alone anymore." The girl looked at him with hopeful eyes. "Do you promise?" "I promise," Alex said, holding out his hand. The girl took his hand, and they began walking together. The golden key in Alex's pocket grew warmer, as if it was guiding them. As they walked through the forest, Alex asked the girl, "What's your name?" "Lila," she said softly. "That's a beautiful name," Alex said with a smile. "Don't worry, Lila. We'll find your family." Lila started to feel a little better. She even smiled a little when Alex told her funny stories about his adventures in the forest. They walked for hours, but the forest seemed endless. Lila grew tired, and Alex could see that she was struggling. He stopped and said, "Let's rest here for a while." Lila nodded and sat down under a tree. Alex looked around and saw some berries on a bush. He picked a few and gave them to Lila. "Here, eat these. They'll give you energy," he said. Lila took the berries and said, "Thank you, Alex. You're very kind." Alex smiled. "Kindness makes everything better," he said. As they continued their journey, Alex began to notice small signs, broken branches, footprints, and faint sounds in the distance. He followed the clues carefully. The golden key in his pocket glowed brighter with every step. Finally, they came to the edge of the forest. In the distance, Alex saw a small house with a light shining in the window. Lila gasped. "That's my house," she cried. Alex felt a wave of relief and happiness. "We found it," he said. Lila ran toward the house, and Alex followed her. When they reached the door, Lila's parents came rushing out. They hugged her tightly, tears of joy streaming down their faces. "Lila, we were so worried about you," her mother said. "I got lost, but Alex helped me find my way home," Lila said, smiling at Alex. Lila's father turned to Alex and said, "Thank you, young man. You brought our daughter back to us. We'll never forget your kindness." Alex felt his heart fill with warmth. "I'm happy I could help," he said. That night, as Alex walked back to his village, he felt the golden key grow cold and still again. He held it in his hand and whispered, "Thank you for guiding me." When he reached home, Emma was waiting for him. "Alex, did you have another adventure?" she asked excitedly. Alex smiled and said, "Yes, Emma. And it reminded me that helping others is the greatest adventure of all." Dear friends, isn't this story beautiful? It shows us that even small acts of kindness can make a big difference. When we help others, we also find happiness in our own hearts. If you love this story, please like and subscribe to my channel. Your support helps me create more inspiring stories for you. Here's a question to help you practice English. If you found someone lost, how would you help them? Write your answer in the comments below. Let's learn and share together. The next morning, Alex woke up early. The golden key was quiet again, but he felt a sense of peace in his heart. As he sat by the window, watching the sunrise, he thought about all the adventures he had experienced so far. Each journey taught him something new: kindness, courage, patience, and trust. Emma came running into his room, her face full of excitement. "Alex, guess what? Mrs. Green needs help at the village square. She's setting up for the spring festival." Alex grinned. The spring festival was one of his favorite times of the year. The whole village came together to celebrate with music, food, and games. "Let's go," he said, grabbing his jacket. When Alex and Emma arrived at the square, they saw Mrs. Green struggling to carry a big basket of flowers. Alex ran up to her. "Let me help you, Mrs. Green," he said. She smiled warmly. "Thank you, Alex. You're always so helpful." Emma picked up a smaller basket and said, "I'll help too." The three of them worked together to decorate the square. They hung colorful ribbons, placed flowers on every table, and set up lanterns that would glow beautifully at night. As the day went on, more villagers came to help. The square began to transform into a magical place, full of life and color. Just as Alex was tying the last ribbon to a tree, he heard a small voice behind him. "Excuse me, can you help me?" Alex turned around and saw a boy about his age. He had a shy smile and was holding a tiny wooden flute. "Of course," Alex said. "What do you need help with?" The boy looked down at his flute and said, "I want to play music for the festival, but I'm too nervous. What if people don't like it?" Alex knelt down so he was at eye level with the boy. "What's your name?" he asked. "Leo," the boy said softly. "Well, Leo," Alex said with a reassuring smile, "if playing music makes you happy, then it will make others happy too. Don't think about being perfect. Just play from your heart." Leo's eyes brightened a little. "Do you really think so?" "I know so," Alex said. "And I'll be right there cheering for you." That evening, as the festival began, the square was filled with laughter, music, and the smell of delicious food. Alex and Emma watched as families danced and children played games. When it was time for the performances, Mrs. Green stepped onto the stage and announced, "We have a special treat tonight. Please welcome Leo, who will play a song on his flute." Leo walked onto the stage, looking nervous. He glanced at Alex, who gave him a big thumbs up. Leo took a deep breath and began to play. The music was soft and sweet, like the sound of a gentle breeze. Everyone in the square stopped to listen. Some people closed their eyes, swaying to the melody. When Leo finished, the crowd erupted into applause. His face lit up with a big smile as he looked at Alex. Alex clapped the loudest and shouted, "You were amazing, Leo." After the performance, Leo ran up to Alex. "Thank you for believing in me," he said. "I was so scared, but your words gave me courage." Alex smiled and said, "You were brave, Leo. Remember, when you share your talent, you make the world a more beautiful place." That night, as the festival came to an end, Alex stood under the stars with Emma. She looked up at him and said, "You always know how to help people, Alex. How do you do it?" Alex thought for a moment and said, "I just try to listen to my heart." Sometimes, helping someone is as simple as being there for them. Emma smiled and said, "I want to be like you when I grow up." Alex laughed softly. "You already have a big, kind heart, Emma. Just keep sharing it with the world." Dear listeners, doesn't this story warm your heart? It reminds us that even small actions, like encouraging someone, can change their life. When we believe in others, we help them shine. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Your support means so much to me and helps me create more inspiring stories for you. Here's a question to practice your English. What would you say to encourage a friend who feels nervous? Write your answer in the comments below. Let's learn and inspire each other. The next morning, Alex woke up feeling refreshed and happy. The spring festival had been a wonderful night, filled with music, laughter, and kindness. As he got ready for the day, Emma ran into his room, her face glowing with excitement. "Alex, you won't believe it. There's a new family moving into the old house near the hill," she exclaimed. "The one with the big garden?" Alex asked. Emma nodded. "Yes. I saw a cart full of boxes and furniture. Do you think they'll have kids our age?" Alex smiled. "Maybe. Let's go meet them and see if they need help." When Alex and Emma arrived at the old house, they saw a man and a woman unpacking boxes. Nearby, a little boy was sitting on the steps, hugging a stuffed bear. He looked about 6 years old and seemed shy. "Hello," Alex called out with a friendly wave. "Welcome to the village. I'm Alex, and this is my sister, Emma." The man turned and smiled. "Thank you. I'm Mr. Carter, and this is my wife, Mrs. Carter. That's our son, Ben." Emma walked up to Ben and said, "Hi, Ben. Do you want to play with us?" Ben looked at her, clutching his bear tightly. He didn't say anything, but his eyes seemed curious. Mrs. Carter leaned down and said softly, "Ben is a little shy. He hasn't made many friends before." Alex knelt beside Ben and said gently, "That's okay. You don't have to talk if you don't want to. Do you like adventures?" Ben looked up at Alex and nodded slightly. Alex smiled warmly. "Great. How about we show you the best spots in the village? There's a big tree you can climb, a river where you can skip stones, and a secret hiding spot. Ben's eyes lit up a little, and he stood up, slowly. He held out his bear and said in a small voice, "This is Teddy. He likes adventures too." Alex and Emma exchanged a smile. "Nice to meet you, Teddy," Alex said. "Let's go on an adventure together." As they explored the village, Ben began to open up. He smiled when Emma showed him how to skip stones at the river and laughed when Alex pretended to trip over a big root near the climbing tree. When they reached the secret hiding spot, a small cave near the forest, Ben looked amazed. "Wow! This is so cool," he said. Alex grinned. "It's our special spot. You can come here anytime you want." Ben hugged his bear tightly and said, "Thank you for showing me this. I didn't think I'd like it here, but now I do." Emma said, "You'll love it even more. Everyone in the village is kind and friendly. You'll make lots of friends." Ben looked at Alex and Emma and said softly, "You're my first friends." Later that evening, Alex and Emma returned home, feeling happy. Their mother smiled when she saw them. "You've been out all day. What were you up to?" Alex said, "We helped Ben, the new boy, feel welcome. He was shy at first, but now he's happy." Their mother kissed their foreheads and said, "I'm proud of you both. It's important to make people feel included and loved." As Alex lay in bed that night, he thought about Ben and how happy he had been when he found the secret spot. Alex felt a deep sense of joy, knowing he had made a difference in someone's life. The golden key in his pocket seemed to glow faintly for a moment, as if it were proud of him too. Alex smiled and whispered, "Thank you for guiding me again." Dear friends, this story reminds us of how powerful it is to make someone feel welcome. A kind word, a small gesture, or simply spending time with someone can brighten their world. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Your support helps me bring more heartwarming stories to you. Here's a question to practice your English. If a new person came to your school or neighborhood, how would you make them feel welcome? Write your answer in the comments below. Let's learn and share kindness together.